Hello guys, a video about backward arrows. Why would you use backward arrows? Why would you want to use backward arrows? And why would you use backward arrows situationally or in a scenario sense where you need to be more defensively solid, or you think you need to be more defensively solid? What do they actually do? I just randomly took over Celtic. We'll just load up a 5-3-2. Say this tactic for instance, 5-3-2 attacking. We'll stick. What players could you possibly use defensive arrows with? Well, pretty much any player on the pitch, even centre backs if you wanted to drop them back to cover the space for non-Wibwell, and that more like sweepers. The same way with the forward arrow when they push up, but the mentality changes of the player. The backward arrow itself, I do think it. First off, no matter regardless of what, if you're even using on the team instructions normal defensive or attacking, it drops the mentality of that individual player. So say we got Lambert and Petrov here, you want to drop one back in the hole or even both so they rotate, make it extra secure or like this, depending on the action areas you think are a bit worrying for you. If the AI have got a very dangerous AMC and you're not playing a DMC but you want to drop someone back, obviously it will make sense to even possibly double up if the AMC is world class. Depending on the AMC's arrow, obviously, if they're sitting the AMC more as a playmaker, then yeah, it would definitely be advisable to do that. If the opposition are using an AMC there with the arrow up, more like a shadow striker, you might be better off getting your middle DC to man mark him, or use the other two, or set them all on zonal perhaps and take them off pressing the back line so it's quite solid. There's many ways you can do it, but anyway, back to the backward arrow. Why would you want to use a backward arrow? A lot of the time you're covering the space in the holes with the midfielder centres if you're not using the DMC, and like I said, certainly if the AI are using dangerous players between the lines, between midfielder and striker. This one I never used to understand, because whenever I used to use it, the players never used to get good ratings and it never used to make me feel defensively solid. But then I started to use different types of players in this role. There are quite a few different ones that can actually work in this role. Very defensive minded players with very high defensive attributes. So you're looking at like marking, positioning. Let's have a look at the attribute sets. Like, say I wanted to use Jackie McNamara in this role. He's hard working. You could actually do something like this with Jackie McNamara. This is how obviously I'd probably use his settings as backward arrow. I'd still have him probably on forward runs. What's his marking like? 11. I'd leave him on zonal. I'd zonal and press him actually, even though he's just going to be doing it from a deeper position. So I'd probably press, normal tackling. If you wanted to make it a bit more solid, you could possibly have him on run with ball instead of that, but that depends on his attributes. Is he going to be good? You could probably get away with having him run on ball. He's not going to be great at it, but I'd probably put him on forward runs, to be honest. That would what I'd set him on. If you had better marking, you could do a man marking job with that. Anyway, it does work very well with set tactics, mainly with the 3-5-2, or certainly that you're going to be very defensively based. You can do some counter-attacking stuff with that. Certainly if you've got very good quick defensive wingers. Also what helps as well, you can try hold up ball as well for safer possession. Utilise perhaps if you're playing two playmakers there and you've got an anchor man, so you're using like an anchor man, two defensive wingers, and these two are more playmakery. I wouldn't say Petrov and Lambert are more all round, aren't they? They're not really playmakers, but Lambert's probably the more deep lying playmaker type. So yeah, it all correlates to the rest of your team, but just using it as a basic example. Obviously the striker back, if you've got an AMC forward, or you've just got a striker with unorthodox attributes. Like say someone like Joe Linton at Newcastle in real life. It's going to be beneficial in the game if his attributes reflect what he's like in real life to do stuff like this with him. He's a forward left centre. He's a midfielder forward left centre. So anywhere with the arrow use here, if you just want to get him to drop back and cover, he actually got high average ratings for me when I was using him like this. Didn't get loads of goals, but he was doing the team job, so you kind of expect that. But considering he wasn't getting many goals and assists, his average ratings were pretty high. Joe Linton on the update, obviously. Who else? Where else? Yeah, as I said, with the sweepers, DMC. So with backward arrows themselves, you want to use it within a team strategy. The most commonly used, though, obviously, is in the 4-4-2, because it just gives you a little bit more protection between the lines. Zialius, when I managed Olympiacos, was very good at this. So what was the other guy I tried it with? I forgot his name now. Yeah, French Carambo, very good at that as well. He was actually good going forward and on. I even had him on forward runs, dropping the arrow back, so he played a bit more box to boxy, but a bit with more of a defensive mentality. So yeah, that's basically what the arrow does. It flips the mentality of the player. So even if you're playing attacking, they're going to cover the space, and obviously with certain instructions you can enhance them further with marking and with a set marking system and things like that. So there's many ways of doing it. Anyway, thanks for watching.